Let's see. Hopefully everything is going okay with the stream. Trying to do my live chat now. Coffee with Lady Leeanna. And I hope that you have tuned in with me for this very good show. Trying to make sure all my systems are go. If you do see anything out of line on my video stream, sound or video wise, then do by all means let me know. I know that the show has been growing pretty good already. Hello, Winter Blackwind. It is good to see you. Merry meet. Good morning, and have you got your coffee together yet? How's it going, Jay? Great to see you as ever. Always love talking to you. You've become a good friend of mine already, Jay. You sure have. I mean, we've talked enough, I guess, lately, huh? An unlikely convert. How are you doing, girl? I hope everything's been going alright for you. And that you're waking up just fine this morning, huh? So Jay pulled away from your job for a while so that you could tune into a show, huh? That's always good. Today, let's see, there's still people pouring in. Hi, Gabrielle. I am Brazilian and I really love you. Well, I love all of you guys too. I think you guys are just absolutely divine and I adore you. Thank you. That's very sweet, Winter. I really love to hear really good things from you guys. And lately, I have been so encouraged by you all. You've just been wonderful. And I don't know. You make me want to wake up and get through my day good and get back to you so that we could all talk again and discuss the thing that we hold near and dear in our heart as far as spirituality goes. Are you guys hearing me all right? Yesterday, whenever I began, yesterday we got 10 whole minutes into the video, and somebody finally let me know that there was a big problem as far as my echoing into the microphone goes. Jay says, I have solved the mystery of, let's see, I've solved the mystery in my parrots, a male or a female. Actually, Flirt solved it for me. Oh, okay. So they let you know as to what was going on with them and who they are, did they? You know, somebody's always got to start trying to call me just as soon as I start my live stream. Crazy, huh? Well, that's about usual. Nicole, my lady, how are you doing? And happy Friday to you. Do I believe in spirit animals? Of course I do. I believe that everything has a spirit. Everything that's living, of course. When we're talking about trees and grass and plants, things of that nature, it's great to see you too. When we're talking about things that are living but are not, I wouldn't say interacting, because even the grass, the trees, and all of this interacts, but things that are not human or animal or cold-blooded, moving, uh, like reptiles and so forth, you know, they all have spirits. But I would say it's more along the lines of an energy with your grass, your trees, and things. I don't really think the grass, trees have a spirit as you would say that we do. I believe that there's spirit within them, but I'm not sure that they each and all have their own particular spirit. Now, animals, cold-blooded, reptiles, arachnids, insects, people, I believe that they have spirit. I believe that they have a spirit, an individual spirit. And that that spirit interacts just like ours do, and that we evolve, or we can be born a human or an animal or even an insect, you know, depending on the lifespan that is needed between our bodies. When you believe in reincarnation, as it were, and I believe in reincarnation, no two people are alike, so we don't all believe in exactly the same thing. I believe in all the above, that there is heaven, that there is Tartarus, another aspect of hell, there is hell, there's Summerland, there's reincarnation, and then there's the God system, and that we are able to become part of the God system when we have learned everything that we could possibly learn from everything else. And then we move to a seat where we're watching over everyone else, tending to the world or the universe along with the God system as being part of the God system. Jay says, LL, ever given any thought to doing only live chats? Yes, as a matter of fact, I was thinking about that this morning. You know, I'm thinking about making this Coffee with Lady Leeanna show a normal thing and doing it every morning. I do like to do the, you know, throw up my videos, the quality videos. I like to do those still, where I add my name, my title, remind people to like, subscribe, or whatever. I really like doing those still too. You know, and you know, doing the live chats like this, it would be harder for me to do a circle magic. So there would still be the need for the other. But yes, I have been thinking about maybe not only doing the live chats, but adding the Coffee with Lady Leeanna, or tea and bagels with Lady Leeanna, or whatever, you know, as a daily basis thing. Because really, I love these talks, and I know that a lot of you guys too, and it helps us to really cover our territory, you know, and get into the fruit of it. And I know that a lot of you guys like to be able to interact and put in your 2 cents to contribute to that which is going out to everyone else. And like I've always said, this is a family. This is a community. This isn't about me, but it's about all of us together. No matter how much work I'm putting into it, I'm doing it for the people I care about, and I'm not the only one with a voice, you know. And in your family home, no matter that the father or the mother is bringing in the dough and feeding you, putting the food on the table and all of that, that doesn't matter. She still listens to all of the other people in the house. Everybody has a say because, you know, no one should be left out. Anyone else have live stream offline on the screen? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I'm still not very technologically savvy, you know, but I have 2 screens beside me, and I'm not sure exactly what you mean. But anyway, we were talking about, you know, the spirit that is within individuals, reincarnation, what we believe in there. Although I was thinking about the idea of talking about who our deities were, it doesn't matter. I'll let you guys kind of shape and bend our subject matter, you know, as you come in. What's your thoughts on children being more susceptible to energies and magic? Do you believe we were born with such sensitivity? And if so, at what point do you think we lose those abilities? Well, unlikely convert, that is a very, very deep subject. And one that I really like, to tell you the truth. Because, you know, and I've actually mentioned it very briefly in other videos. Let's see, we're conditioned by society to lose those sensitivities. That's a really good answer there. from the time we're 3 years old, we've heard the words no, 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 or you can't do that, or get down from there, or whatever, you know, and by the time we're 5, we've heard the words that's impossible, it's never done, or whatever. And so we are programmed. We're programmed by society to believe that we're harnessed or altered away. And so it goes without saying that by the time we're 20 years old, we've been programmed to the extent that our imagination has left us. We have been tempered down by society to follow in line with what everybody else believes is right or wrong, including the move from, say, Christianity to paganism, or kicking off in your life being pagan from the beginning. I mean, we are conditioned away from our childlike imaginations and freedoms and so forth. And even if it's not just that, it's also our happiness being drained away from us through these same measures. Think about it. When you can't do what you would like to do, when you're not allowed to play when you want to, when you're not able to go through your phases as a teenager, you know, because everyone else says that you're supposed to do this, 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 and that, and nothing else. Or even so far as to say, this is wrong and that's wrong, and no, that's not good, or this is impossible. Then we lose ourselves and we become that neon fish in a fishbowl that swims in a school, and they turn and twist in the tank with each other at the drop of a hat without batting an eye. Hey, Mystic Witch, it's really good to see you, Kardaki. I didn't know whether you guys were going to show up or not, but I am glad to have you. Ever so glad. Having small children, it's always fascinating to me. Our immersion has shown some amazing spiritual traits. I really hope he can stay in alignment with that and grow. Oh, the child. Okay, 3 years old. Yes, that's why we have to encourage our children. No, you just got here on time, Mystic Witch. No, you know, they come in and they grow on their own terms, and we have to allow them to come in, and we have to allow them to grow and quit harnessing back, unless it's something that would hurt them, or it's something that could get them kicked out of school, of course. Let's see, Wendy, hey, how are you doing? Australia? Wow. That is awesome, and I've always wanted to see Australia. 12:40 a.m. Saturday morning, so I tend to miss your live chats. Work. Yeah, I've thought about doing a live chat in the morning, coffee with Lady Leeanna, and doing a live chat in the evening. I still haven't worked out all the bugs because it did start out, I was going to do a live chat every Wednesday, and everyone was more or less letting me know that that just wasn't enough. Everybody wanted just a little bit more, a little more time to talk together and all that, and so did I. I really like the idea of it. You're trying to teach your daughter to always trust her intuition or instincts. It's very strong, and we should do that. We shouldn't harness them away from that. We shouldn't control them so much that they forget what it is to have freedom. And unfortunately, that's what was done to us, being in our generations. You know, well, we don't want to blame our families, but we must admit the majority of us were harnessed by the family, or what the family was afraid of everybody else thinking of them, or just simply because our families didn't agree with things, or didn't believe in anything. And so we were taught to not believe or act out in or do. You know. Crimson Fry. What is that? Let's see. Even things that I haven't heard of before, people. You know, and that's where you guys teach me. Crimson Fry is great, Nicole says, and I'm not sure what Crimson Fry is. I think she wants my job as a tech vet. Anyway, I believe that everything has a spirit or has spirit within it. And if it's a plant, a tree, blade of grass, whatever, it has spirit within it. If it is an insect or an animal or a human or a bird, it has a spirit. And those spirits, those that actually have a spirit, transpire to move throughout different lifetimes, gaining knowledge and wisdom as they go, working their way up finally to be part of the God system. And at that point, when they have become part of the God system, it's because, first and foremost, they've obtained all the lower knowledge and wisdom, and now they are shaping and helping others to grow. They are watching over the world and being the God system. And that's what I believe about Spiritum and the God system. Now, is there a heaven or a Summerland? I believe there is, but I believe that is being at one with the God system. That is being the God system, participating in it, and being it. Let's see. Taking today off because I have to assist the delivery of a camel. I think he said tomorrow when we talked. Okay, or inducing labor tomorrow. Okay, so yes, he's trying to enjoy himself, and he gets to sit in on one of these little sessions for a while. Fairies are amazing beings, but don't be too trusting to them. Some are very mischievous. I believe that a lot of your fairyland creatures or critters can be, you know, they can be a little mischievous. They like to hide things. A lot of times it's not just to be evil, and it's not really to be evil, but it's playtime. You know, they love to play. Anything that small, and not all of them are small either, you know. Some of them are more grounded, you know, but your small little critters, they like to hide things and play a bit, you know. And I think that it's to make you think, jog your mind, let you know that they're there. Spirits are like that. They really like to be acknowledged. And if you don't, they're going to reach out and try to let you know that they're there. How is it going, Jane? Um, let's see. My experience with all elementals can be very mischief causing. Okay. Anyway, so that's my take on the spirit. And I believe that how much time we actually need on the earth before we get that body that is actually meant for us will help to determine whether we're going to come back for a while as an insect or an animal of some life. Because take notice of the fact that all humans against animals, against reptiles, against arachnids or insects and whatnot, they have different spans of life. They have different lifespans altogether. Good morning, Amira. It's good to see you. Fairies appear to help us. They can. I mean, they do. But they also can be mischievous. You can set out bowls of honey at an altar that you set for them in the garden, or you can set up an altar inside your house if you can't do anything on the outside of your house. But little bowls of honey, some flowers in a vase next to it would make them feel a bit more at home. Some people mix a little bit of milk with honey and set it on a little altar inside their house in a darker place because they show up better in the dark from my understanding and from what I know or have seen. And so you can draw them in with that. A lot of people, how do you feel about this statement alone? A lot of people don't believe in fairies, gnomes, elves, dwarves, or dragons. How do you feel? And why do you think that so many other people do not understand it or refuse to accept it? Or just quite simply don't know and won't think about it? You're very welcome, Gabrielle. Let's see. I love how you guys are saying hello to each other in the chats. I mean, it makes me feel that you guys are close. Can animal spirits be reincarnated? Yes, and I said this before. I believe that they are us and we are them. Have you ever looked into the eyes of a dog and he's waiting for your answer, waiting for you to speak, and you kind of acknowledge that he has kind of an old wisdom in his eyes? Well, what if he was in his last life a grumpy old man or a professor or whatever, but he needs a new body and he's waiting on the right one that would resonate with the spirit, because we all know that things have to resonate with each other for them to become one. And this is one of the points that I was making a bit ago. You know, that animals, insects, reptiles, so forth, we're all one and the same. It's the spirits of those that need to be reincarnated, and they may have different spans of time that they need to be within a certain body while waiting on the right body that resonates with them. And that's why I feel that your insect forms, your arachnid forms, your animal forms are there. And do bear in mind, your elephants can live as long as we do, your crocodiles or alligators, or your moths may live like 2 days, your flies maybe a week or something like that, you know. And you know, it's because those are spirits that need a little layover time before they make it to their next body. Of course, this is only my theory and take on the matter, but who's to say? But I mean, if we don't push our ideas and theorize things, then we'll never get anywhere anyway, and we don't think or grow. You know, after all, religion, for the most part, the things within religion, rather, or the things in spirituality, rather, are based on theory. They were all somebody's ideas long, long ago. Gabrielle says, I do believe in all of this stuff. And undines, sliths, salamanders. Let's see. Sometimes I have to just kind of breeze through all of y'all's comments because there's so much going on there. And thank you. I mean, I really do like that you guys are speaking up and talking. Then yes, I call upon elemental spirits, animals like ravens, foxes, salamanders, deers, snakes, and more. And I do too, as well as astral, and I combine the two, and I will astral project travel with any one of these animals, whether I want to travel with a dolphin in the seas, or I want to travel on the wings of an owl, or a hawk in the air, or I want to travel on legs of either a wolf or a panther. And these are the animals that I use for the most part when I'm astraling with an animal and want to move quickly, you know, and want to go into nature. Astral projecting is very, very important to the witch, and you'll find this as time goes on. My main animals, however, are the land animal, panther, the air animal, the white owl, and the dolphin for the sea animal. And this is how I travel for the most part. Now, are these my own animal? Well, they are my animal totems, and I can travel with any one of them while they're already out there. But they are not mine. I don't believe any animal actually, literally belongs to you. But they are your friend. They are there for you. They are there to assist you, or they may need your help. And so they will be there for the time when they are there. And, let's see. Yes, I actually can call the salamander as the elemental of fire. Yes, salamander is the element of fire. Do bear in mind, though, your typical lizard is a land animal, at least from my understanding. Let's see. I call upon mine cat familiars with owls. So we all have different animal totems. We have all different animals we can call upon. And that's good because you're going to have different needs at different times. So broaden up and quit limiting yourself to just this or just that. You know, and you may have a fairy, a gnome, or an elf assistant that you can travel with at times as well, because they can go into other places that your typical standard physical animals cannot. And this, my sisters and brothers, call me older sis, this is because fairies, elves, gnomes, dwarves can go into other realms, and sometimes we will have need of that. Your dragons can even go into the past, if you do not know that already. So it doesn't hurt to have a dragon assistant. Some people say, oh my god, so dragons, elves, gnomes, dwarves, etc., they exist? Yes, they do. For a lot of us that do believe in it. If you don't believe in it, you're never going to see them. Some of us have been too harnessed and tapped by society to want to believe in it and say, oh, that's just child's play. Why do they exist? Okay, I believe, and this is only my theory, I believe, and in all reality, I do know a lot about spirit. I've been a medium all my life. And I've seen these spirits manifest themselves in so many different ways, forms, and fashions. And so when we're talking about gnomes, fairies, sleuths, elves, and things of that nature, we're talking about a spirit that has free will and can show itself in whatever way it feels drawn to, or whatever it feels more coincidental with, you know. And so therefore it may manifest itself in this way because it looks at this as its form within beautification. Okay, other than that, I cannot begin to theorize as to why they exist, and really no one can sit there and tell you. I don't care how many textbooks they've made on the subject. You know, when you talk with them and discuss things with them, a lot of times they're hush-hush about things, and the majority of the rest don't know how they came about, just like humans, and the idea as to whether we were Adam and Eve and we were born one after the other, or that we evolved from organism and then became water creature and then stood up and became ape and then stood up straighter yet and became human. Let's see. And so therefore, a lot of different races, cultures, creeds, or whatever don't know how they came about to begin with. Yes, dragons help me mind time magic and help in the future seeing also. And that's true. You can use them for time magic, going back in time. You can use them for doing things that are of the odd and extraordinary, flight, looking in on others, astral projection, things of that nature, as well as gardening and taking care of your outer realm, the forest and so forth. You know, and we do need that help a lot because a lot of us don't have time to get out there and do all the gardening that we want to, and the insects are just hideous. Well, these creatures can watch the garden and guard for you and try to keep things down like that. A moth, a moth, I feel, is very, it's always been an insect that is, it's very sacred to me. I will not kill a moth in my house. I will not. Other insects, they're intruders and invaders in my opinion, most of the time. And if they're there, if they're bothering me or they're biting on me or whatever, I will kill them. But I will not kill a moth in my house, and I will not allow another person to do so. In my learnings, and this came from me, and I don't know how I knew it, but from the time I was a child, I had the instinct that moths carry. The souls of the dead, the newly dead souls, that are ready to go up to the higher place or to the destined place at beginnings where they will be reincarnated once more or whatnot. They carry the souls of the dead, and those souls are destined for somewhere different. And so I will not kill a moth in my house. Furthermore, I will not kill a butterfly. And you have to understand where I'm coming from on there, because no other insect shows change and transformation, one aspect of life from another, as does the moth or butterfly. Hence, egg, caterpillar, cocoon, safety place, although it was living before that, lives within the cocoon and is hatched and becomes different and is given wings even as a spirit and flies. I have a strong connection with wolves also, as guardians and protectors. Although, my panther is more of a warrior. Let's see. Myra says, thank you, Mystic Witch. Have been always wondering why there is a moth everywhere I am and why it followed me around. And Mystic Witch had said before that, let's see, to that attune, the moth is a symbol of change and says what I did. So we are definitely in agreement on everything. And so, yeah, that is really good information there. Change. The moth, the butterfly, the caterpillar, they are representations of change and transformation from one state of being to another. Also, the dove is, but more along the lines of an atmosphere rather than an actual being, like transcendence out of chaos and into peace. And that's what your dove is about. Your eagle would be a symbol of strength. Your wolf would be a symbol of guarding and protection. Your panther would be a symbol of fertility as well as war and guardianship as well. Your owl would be a symbol of wisdom for most, but also there are a lot that use the owl as a symbol of warning, and self-preservation. And a lot of your Hispanic cultures, as well as religious beliefs, believe in the owl as a symbol of warning that there's danger and watch out that there's a bad entity around or things of that nature. So it varies from people to people and culture to culture and religion to religion. Let's see. And so it doesn't hurt to bend and flex. And also, it wouldn't hurt for you to look a little bit into your woodland creatures as far as a possibility. Also, because your animals cannot handle, except for maybe your typical ordinary house cat. Now, the cats, see, the reason why a lot of your woodland creatures, or some of your woodland creatures, might be afraid of the cat is because the cat is, for one thing, playful and doesn't always know what they do when they're killing little animals, while playing with them. But they can also, the cat is halfway in and halfway out of your different dimensions anyway. And if you look at their eyes, you can see it as their eyes get smaller and bigger, as well as their purring. They know how to attune themselves quite well, and they can move between realms. Cats do. Regular, ordinary house cats, and people do not realize that. Hence why a witch likes to use them as familiar. Arcania says, as I have grown older and more recently, Snakes have become my totem. Snakes have become my totem. I'm sorry. My eyes are obviously not the best, and maybe I need to start wearing my glasses for this. My deity changed from Diana to Hecate as well. We do change our deities, but I feel that this is relevant to the time or the situation that we're going through at the time. And so it's not unheard of, although I will say that in the beginning I began drawing to certain deities and letting them become a part of me as they implemented themselves into my life. But I've always kept the others, hence why I have 8 deities to my good. And they all fulfill different purposes. And if y'all are curious about that, just let me know and I'll explain it to you a little bit deeper. Let's see. And Diana, by the way, is one of my deities. Gabrielle Buck. Speaking about butterfly, I have seen lots of black and yellow butterflies in the last days. Well, black means empowerment, and yellow means joy, happiness, and contentment. We are in spring, and that is the time when we start seeing the majority of them. And so, it says that you're a happy-go-lucky, lighthearted person, and it empowers you. Probably you're really good in the yard or garden, or you like to go barefooted, easygoing, but you like to make things very light, and you don't like to get overly serious about things, is what I would take from that if I were to read it symbolically. Lady Raven Moon, that's a new name in the room, and it's nice to see you. What can you tell me about ravens? I'm always seeing them, and I have one that always crosses my path. The raven is a sign of danger. And so if I were you, whenever I see this raven, and a lot of times the raven carries spirits, but usually, and it's not their fault, usually there's a dark spirit attached with that. A raven can be a sign that there is a dark entity around, and either it's trying to warn you that there is, or there's one traveling with it. Because ravens and dark or negative spirits are enemies to each other, and then they're always out to get each other, or always at war. So where you see one, there's, usually not too much of the other far behind. Or there is too much of the other far behind. Either way, one's out to get the other. I am very curious about your deities. Alright, Arcania. First off, I have Isis and Osiris. And yes, they are consorts to each other within life as they actually lived. But they stand for two totally different things, within my opinion. Together they represent gold, money, or jewels, things of that nature. But that's not what I call on them for. I'm not a very wealthy person. I'm poor as hell, and I'm okay with that. But they stand for, gold, money, and wealth to a lot of people. But to me, Isis represents the goddess of love. Why? Because there was none stronger who applied so much of her attention to reassembling her husband's body parts once his own cousin, poisoned him and scattered his body parts to the four corners of the world. Isis, and we're talking about Osiris here, was dismembered and carried to the four parts of the world. Isis set out on a journey to reassemble those body parts, bring them back together in one place so that she could resurrect him, and didn't manage to do so. But before the journey was complete, she did not give up. She continued on going through. She finally did assemble the body parts, if I remember right, and brought them together. And at that point, she died and became part of him. But they had one child together. If you look up in the sky, you'll see 3 stars, a small, medium, and large one, and just below those directly, there are the 3 pyramids that represent the 3 of them. There's one small, medium, and large, and they're right underneath these stars. But Isis represents love, definitely, to me, because she loved her husband that much. Osiris, however, is a very dark spirit, but a good one, and he will protect you. He will guard over you, and if you've got to go to war, call on him and he'll help you to reign victoriously. Okay, next we have the Green Man and Green Lady, and to me, they are one and the same. They do the same thing. They're husband and wife, and they are of health, of the outside things, working in the yard or dwelling within the forest and being able to survive out there, healing of different things, or bring money. And that's what they represent to me. And there is where I call on for money and thriving prosperly, is the Green Man and Green Lady. Okay, as far as other deities that I have, Isis, Osiris, Green Man, Green Lady. Diana, to me, is the female that dwells within nature and is at one with all of nature. And she helps me to be more fruitful to the world around me and to remember that I'm only one speck, and without the world I would not exist, and to take care of it. Also, a guardian and a warrioress, but I don't generally call to her for that reason. Cernunnos, Cernunnos, whatever you want to call him, Herning, he has many different names. Pan, he is also of the wild, but he's a horned hunter, and if I wanted to set out to get my food from the earth, he will help me do that. And that's why I call on him. And then you have Adonai, which is the battle aspect of the Hebrew God, or the Christian God for that matter, one of the oldest. And it's a war god. Manu is a god of the swamp and the marsh and the seas, and reminds me that these play a large part of the earth and that I should always respect that. Likewise, and he answers prayers very strongly, always lets me know that he's been there by leaving little gifts that we take wholeheartedly and always give thanks about, no matter what it is that he may leave behind. You'll know that he's there. We don't always know a lot about deities, but we will get that knowledge as time goes on. A lot of people want things way too fast and before their time, and we have to be patient, Gabrielle. The subject is a really fabulous one, though. Mermaids are your fairies, your gnomes, your elves of the sea. They exist just the same, and they dwell with the Titans as gods. And like Neptune and so forth. Fascinating. I love the Greek gods, by the way. I do call to Zeus, Aphrodite, a lot of times, and other ones likewise. Let's see. Isis represents love, and Nicole agrees with me completely. And thank you for that. Let's see. Anyway, these things all have a very valid place within our spirituality. And without any of them, we aren't as open as what we're supposed to be, and therefore we are closed off. There are a lot of pagans out there that like to go humbug and not believe in other aspects of things that other pagans like to believe in. I think that that it's valid for you to feel the way that you do and not necessarily agree entirely with other people that are on the same pathways. However, we should lend a little homage to the fact that, well, we have beliefs that other people don't believe in. So maybe we should, be a little accepting, if nothing else, and sit and listen, be a part of this other person that's talking about the things that they believe in. And only that way can we hope to be at one with other people on the earth, because everyone is unique or different, even if it's taking away one word from their vocabulary because they don't know about it. And this is just an example. Your deities are very, very important. And this, we ended up on the same topic that before I started this live stream was going to talk about to begin with. Hence, why I have Cernunnos, Herning, the Horned Hunter, Pan, whatever you wish to call him, right here beside me today. And generally, I like to keep them right beside me anyway. You know, they're always right here with me, and these are my beloved representations of my higher power. And we have Diana here on, I guess, your left. Your right, my left. Let's see. And then we have Cernunnos over here on my right. And these are my beloved statues that are always present with me when I'm either talking about spirituality or acting on it. Beautiful statues they are. Wouldn't want to be without them whatsoever. Lady Ravenmoon says, I have yet to find out who my deity is, but I often dream of Morrigan, goddess. I'm thinking she could be it, but I'm not drawn to her. Okay, well then she could not be it. So I would suggest that you look so much more deeper and wait. Let them, let them find you. Now, it doesn't mean sit back and don't ever think about it, don't research it, and don't think about it. It doesn't mean that at all. Because you've got to be putting yourself out there like a beacon in the night to say, hey, I'm here, and I'm calling to whatever god or goddess is ready to snatch me up and make me their child. And so you've got to be open and flexible for that and let it happen. But remember that it's not going to come overnight. I have acquired my deities over a period of over 34 years. My first one being Diana, who has stayed with me. And I suggest the same thing to you. Thank you. Thank you, Nicole. I love my statues too. They're so beautiful. And believe it or not, they're not metal, but they're made of resin. And that really threw me for a loop. I did not know that. I thought when I bought them, and from the time I bought them, that they were metal. Some sort of an antique brass or whatever. But they are polyresin. They're very heavy. Very. Let's see. Who has their altar in your home? Bridget? Let's see. Goddess Bridget has been with me recently. I feel her strength and her love. So much I colored my own hair fire red. See, this is where a deity calls to you so much that you know that they're your own. You're very welcome, lady. You're very welcome. Just be patient because your gods and goddesses are going to come to you. You do have to search for them. You have to light that beacon up and say, I'm ready. I'm ready. But then you've got to gaze into fire or scry into water or sit back and let your dreams play over into you and remember your dreams so that you can remember who it was talking to you. Or, go into meditation and prayer or whatever. But in one way, form, or fashion, they're going to stand out to you and they're going to say, I'm here. I'm here and I'm watching out for you. You're mine. We are one. And now, what I was going to say a little bit ago is do not keep taking away or whatever. Good morning, Angie S. It's good to see you. And for those things that you've missed, and there has been quite a bit, I suggest you go back and start watching the videos from the beginning whenever we're through. Because we have talked a bit more than just what we're talking about right now. But, where was I? It's so easy to get thrown. Don't keep taking away deities. Add them. Let them all be a part of you with the others. If you take away deities, you could very well be slapping one aspect of the God system in the face. When you have started calling and talking to one particular aspect of the God and Goddess, then you really need to keep paying homage to that because that hasn't changed. And so therefore the name or the image that you used for them hasn't changed. Just don't keep being so frugal, or not, that's the wrong word. Don't keep on being so, what is the word I'm looking for here? Just don't be so quick and jumping in and adding spirits left and right because you're in a hurry for that. You need to be frugal with the way you're going to add that. How many of them you bring in, and make sure that it's steadfastly there when you do bring them in. Okay, you've got to just go with the flow. And that's the same thing with tagging and titling yourself or adding your base religion to yourself. You don't know fully what you believe yet in the beginning, and that's going to shape and change for a while. So I suggest that, for a couple of years, you don't actually start being so quick to name yourself in under this religion or whatever. And definitely don't start practicing anything that transpires to be into a dark arena of magic beyond white magic, until you're sure what you believe in or where you want to go from here. Anyway, basically, I feel that we've covered a lot of grounds. We've talked about spirit and reincarnation, rebirth, and what we believe in as far as your spirits go, your gnomes, your elves, your dragons, your fairies, your mermaids. I feel that they're all valid. I believe that they show themselves in the way they want. Spirits show themselves in the way they feel kindred with. And so they will appear to you in the form they want you to see. And that's who they are. Now, what type of spirits they'll show themselves to be, that depends on how playful they are or how serious they are. That's all part of their character. Anyway, I think that I'm going to end the show here and step back a while. I'm getting a little bit dizzy and flustered. And I will pick this back up tomorrow. It's been about an hour for us, I think. Does anybody have any questions that they haven't asked at this point? Anything that you would like to bring up that we perhaps haven't? Okay, maybe the chat room has gotten shut down or something. We have had this malfunction before. I see everybody is still here. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shut this show down for now. It's been almost an hour. I'm going to relax a bit. And I think we'll probably pick this up tomorrow. So watch out for my... Wait a minute. This little bar is moving and I didn't see that. So something's been kind of stove up here. I thought I was alone for a minute. Let's see. Many blessings to you. Love your videos. Is Hecate male or female? Female, but they all have masculine and feminine aspects to themselves. Kartiki Malvia says thanks. Nicole says female and answers that question. Let's see. Angie says thank you so much, lady. I so appreciate your live chats. Have a wonderful day. Love and light. Blessed be. And to you too. And blessed be to all of you. Blessings. And I hope all of you have a wonderful day and that the higher power shines on you with every direction that you walk and on the path that you're on. Do realize that even if you haven't named your higher power, it doesn't mean that they are not there watching over you, because they ever are. And I want all of your hopes, wishes, and dreams to come true. Tune in again. It won't be long. I'll be doing another video. And I believe I'll be doing the live streams every morning. Coffee with Lady Leeanna. Alright? You take care of yourself. And merry part, everybody. Bye-bye.